everyone! Today I'm going to revisit a subject I covered in one of my previous videos, Lavender Town Syndrome. Ever since I posted my Pokemon Green Mist video, I've gotten comments complaining about the way I tested the Lavender Town Syndrome myth. Apparently, my demonstration didn't disprove anything, so of course this evoked criticism. So if you weren't satisfied with my previous answer to this long-standing urban legend, maybe this video will do the trick. Or just piss people off more. Can't win them all. So I hope you take this video for what it is. Remember, I can't really truly disprove this myth since I wasn't there in Japan all those years ago watching those kids play Pokemon Green. I can, however, state my theory and opinion on the matter and hope that you'll understand when I came to this conclusion. First of all, let me address the arguments many of you had against me. Some of you claim that it only affects children under 12, and since I'm 17, my test was inaccurate. Well, let me use simple 7th grade science in my rebuttal. You may be aware of a ringtone called the mosquito. A ringtone for cell phones supposedly only teenagers can hear and adults can't. The mosquito consists of an ultra-high-pitched frequency that most adults cannot hear due to the natural rate their hearing deteriorates. Natural adult hearing loss is particularly acute at higher frequency ranges, and most adults cannot hear the ultra-high frequency ranges after a certain age due to the condition known as presbycusis. The principle behind presbycusis is a biological fact that hearing experts refer to as an aging ear. Medical scientists state that starting at around age 20, the human ear begins to lose its ability to hear tones in the highest human range frequencies, and the condition progressively gets worse the older you get. Most adults over 40 or 50 exhibit some symptoms of this condition. Young adults are usually asymptomatic since most human reproduced audio waves and communication takes place in the range of 208,000 Hz. For this reason, the deterioration of the ability to detect ultra-high frequencies usually go undetected. Now, what does all this scientific mumbo-jumbo have to do with Pokemon? Well, the reason the original Lavender Town theme gave anybody any trouble at all was because it contained a note or two at a frequency similar to that of the mosquito. Just like you could get a headache from listening to the mosquito with its nails on a chalkboard-like effects, you could get a headache from listening to the original Lavender Town theme. It has no effect on your emotional well-being, other than being a bit irritating. And as stated before, the effects of presbycusis started around age 20. I'm not there yet, I'm 17. If a 12-year-old could hear it, so could I. The second argument against me is that you can only hear the effects of it on the original Game Boy speaker. Well, let me tell you, the Game Boy Color and the original Game Boy use the same 4-bit sound system. If you can hear the effects on the original Game Boy, I can emulate it on my Game Boy Color. If you really want to have a listen, let's get to it. Still no suicidal thoughts. Gee, wonder why. Still others claim that I probably didn't have the right version of the game. While there's no real way for me to know which version I have, there does exist an MP3 file of the original version floating around online, which I have listened to. Once again, no suicidal thoughts, just a headache. But anyway, none of this should matter, because my main argument from the last video still stands. If this were true, there would still be some existing form of reputable media coverage around to date. Death is a very sensationalist story, and death resulting from playing a kid's game is even more exciting. News reporters would have jumped on the story if it were real, and it would have been as well known as the Porygon incident, if not more so. The reason, I think, that people link suicide to the song at all in the first place is that the song plays in Lavender Town, which just so happens to be Kando's only gravesite. When people found out that there was something wrong with the original version, they were quick to speculate and spread rumors, which were more exciting or dramatic than why the original song was really scrapped. Let me put it this way. You're walking down the street and you get a headache. You think nothing of it and go home. You're walking through a graveyard when you get a headache. You start thinking about ghosts and death and your mind starts racing. The fight or flight response in your body starts off and adrenaline is rushing. You start thinking crazy things, making up stories in your head and getting scared and thrilled and excited. You go home and tell all your friends that were haunted by a ghost. Except you weren't. You just got a headache and happened to be in a graveyard. Feel free to post more comments and state your own theories. I'd like to hear what you have to say on the matter, though I really don't think any of you will change my mind. I'm quite positive I'm correct. But I'll leave you to do your own thinking and come up with your own conclusion. After all, it's all just speculation, right?